How's it going? I am a little goblin who likes to do makeup, and today we're going to be doing an anti-Valentine's Day look. If you haven't watched the Valentine's Day look video, there is a magazine called Retro Lovely, and they have two special editions this time of year, Valentine's Day and Anti-Valentine's Day. And I always try to at least get into those two publications during the year. They're mainly the ones that I think of ahead of time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can get this done pretty early and get it in there. So I will have to leave a little note in editing to let you guys know if I made it in, and I'll leave the little link for the magazine for anybody interested down in the description. But back to the important stuff here. This look is gonna have lots of runny mascara, little bits of blood, and tons of animosity. So let's get into it. Alright, all I've done is gone ahead and just gotten my hair distributed evenly underneath my wig cap. I actually learned a little secret from one of my friends from back home. She messaged me and said it's a lot easier for stuff like this for me, because I'm like a, beginner a little bit, to just go ahead and take two ponytails, throw it up in there, get my wig cap over top, and then maneuver the hair around, kind of like Bugs Bunny-esque under here, and just get it situated that way so I don't have any big lumps once I get my actual long wig on here. So we'll go ahead and glue it down a little bit here. I've got my Got To Be Glued, and I've got these cute little applicators. So these are the last of my value wigs, so I promise you won't have to hear me complain about them anymore. We're going to go ahead and take this all along here. Nice little thin glue line, and then I've got my hair dryer. We're going to take it along, speed the process up. And I always start here, and then the other spots here, just to make sure it's all held down in place as I work around. Go ahead and give you a little sample of it, and then I will spare you the rest of the glue laying here. Alright, I've gone in and I've cut out the band, pulled my ears out, and made sure everything is stayed where it should be. Stayed where it should be. Everything is nice and where it should be. How about that? That sounds a little bit better. So I've got my wig here now. It's a nice little lace front here. So I'm going to find the center with my little fingy here. Flip it around the back of my head. Make sure it's got a wide enough opening for all my big-headedness and hair. Come down, make sure the bottom is nice and snug down there. And when I initially cut this, I cut it a little bit to the side, so I ended up having a little bit more lace on one side than the other, so it's not the true center, it's my center, but it still works. We'll go ahead and pull them down a little bit just to get a good idea, and I always throw on my headband to keep all these little hairs out of the way and try to keep the glue and stuff from getting in there, and mainly just the hair being a menace to me. Go up. Ooh, a couple of them made it through, but that's all right. Pull forward, cover that entire little bit of lace there. Alright, then I'm going to go back in with my glue here, and I start here, go to here, and then I will do everything in between and make sure it's nice and snug, nothing moves around, go in with my blow dryer and make sure everything is stuck. I will spare you this process, so I'm going to go in here and we'll be right back. Okay, I've gone in, and as you can see, our wig is nice and snug. I've cleaned it since the last time I wore it, so you can't really see all of the dark and the red from the burned look I did before, which there's a video for. You want to go check it out, a little shameless plug there. But we're going to move on to our foundation. So we've got our Clinique 2-in-1 with our Custard shade. I'm already primed and ready to go. I got my little e.l.f. primer on. We do just a little bit. I add more if need be, but I'm kind of going for a disheveled kind of makeup half on, so I might not even blend it out completely, but we'll see where we end up here. Go ahead and just finish putting this on. All right. A little bit down the neck there so it all blends together. Get my spongy out of his little water bath. Yeah. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. All right. And I just try to blot it around. I try not to push too much, trying to keep it where it is, not soak up too much product. Just try and blend down a little bit, keep it if there's dark circles. And as I get closer to my hairline, I will either switch to like a brush to go in and get it, or just a smaller sponge if I can find my little one around here. All right, I'm gonna go in, finish up here, and we'll be right back and we'll dust it. All right, we're nice and evened out here. And for the blush, I kind of wanted like this deep red color. So I'm going to use old KVD. It's Nahz Furatoo. It's kind of an old one here. I gotta get all the product out I can. Do a little bit there. And it looks bright on there, but it's a very deep red. And I like that. We're gonna blend it out with our fingies here. Take the back end of my little sponge here. Blend it into the eye area. Blend out, blend out, blend out. And it's a little much, but once I go in with the little contour there, we'll hope it evens out. So we've got our Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator. And oh, got a little stray hair there. That's all right. And we'll just do a nice little line. The other side of our sponge. And I like that it's almost lost in the blush because the blush is so bright. Try taking this, bring it back a little bit there. Mute that color a tiny bit. There we go. That's a little bit more what I wanted. If I want it brighter, once I set it, I can go in and add a little bit of powder on top. I'll go ahead and do this other side, and then we'll be right back here. Okay, we've got it nicely done on both sides here. And before I go in and set, one of the things that I want to do so I don't have to work so hard to do it later on is I kind of want it to look like I've been rubbing my face, like doing a bunch of this, pulling the makeup down and everything. So I'm going to show that buildup ahead of time. So while this is all still setting and everything, I'm going to take just my hand here and kind of not pull it all the way off, but on my face. I'm not even sure if it'll see on there, but it's just kind of pulled some of that down, and I'm gonna do like the same thing over here, maybe smear a little bit down this way. And I can see the light. I don't think you guys can, but that's all right. Once I work in the powder and everything like that, it should start to show up more on camera. Maybe just like a little handprint there, take a little bit more off. And then we'll go in with the e.l.f. HD setting powder, and we'll just lightly set everything and get everything else to stay put, and then we'll just build off of that. So we'll be right back. All right, we've been properly dusted and we're ready to go. You can't really see on here, but I can in there, all of like the little things I made when I put my hands on my face and everything. But I'm hoping that once I build with all the grays and the like black smears and everything, it'll start to look a little bit more like what I want it to. You gotta trust the process, as they say. So we're gonna go in and do our eyebrows here. I'm gonna set them the way that I want them to, and then I'm gonna smudge like the ends and everything at the end here. So we've got our KVD black Briar, little pointy brush here. We're gonna go in. And a swoop. Do our little hairs on this one. I love really thin, high arched eyebrows. It reminds me of my grandma, and I don't know why I keep talking like that. I apologize. feather this end a little bit there. There we go. Just keep building on top of it. You can really do your brows however you like. Makeup isn't that serious. Even when I'm doing photo shoots for stuff. I find that if I take it too serious, when something starts to like mess up a little bit, then I'm like, ah, instead of just like, all right, here's what we can do and everything like that. So I've got to keep myself nice and relaxed as best I can. It's looking pretty good. We're gonna do just one more sweep back here. I'm gonna fill that little spot in a little bit, push that arch up. There we go. And I think, in all honesty, on this one, I might mess with this front piece, and then on this guy, I'll mess around with the little tail there. All right, and next here, we're gonna go in and start building our little eyeshadow spots. So I've got my MakeupaMurder Lost Signals, my gray shade palette that I love so much. We've got Melt the Muerta palette, and I'm gonna use Velorio and Sangre. They're like darker shades, and maybe some Pantheon. I hope I'm saying these right. I'm doing my best. And then I've got my two little brushes. So we're gonna go in and I wanna start building. The reds are mainly gonna be in spots where I want it to look like I've been rubbing my face a little bit more, and I'm not sure about the blood yet, so we'll just go with the flow and see where we end up here. So we'll start off with this guy, and I'm gonna use, there's no names on the shade, so I'll do my best to show you and like kind of like the darkest dark or the like grayest of grays, things of that nature. I'm gonna start off with these two shades and maybe a little bit of this one. The top row is more shimmery shades, so I'm gonna avoid those for now. I'm just gonna start building, and it's light enough to where I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see the color starting to build around. A little bit of that darker shade. There we go. I have always loved doing my makeup, and as a kid, me and my friends would get together and all do each other's makeup, dress up in like funky clothes or big dresses, and take like these dramatic pictures of each other. And that's kind of where my love and everything for modeling came from, is just me and my friends doing doofy little things, doing edits and all kinds of stuff. We thought we were the coolest people in the whole world, and we still were. At least in my eyes, I thought we were cool. There we go. It delved from being all kinds of alternative to, when I graduated, I got really heavy into steampunk. Oh, I love steampunk. And I started making clothes, all kinds of stuff. And a photographer from back home messaged me and he was like, hey, I kind of like your style. We should do a shoot and you can show off all your clothes and everything that you've been making. And that just kind of started everything. I meet with him every time I go back home. He's a really nice guy. I kind of wish he was more popular because I really like his work, but maybe I'm biased. But Erie, PA is kind of like a little in the middle of nowhere. Most people are like, oh, I know Pittsburgh, I know Philadelphia, all this other stuff, but dreary Erie usually gets left out a little bit. Unless something horrible is going on, in which case, tracks. All right, well, there's one hair. Get out of here, please, sir. Get out of my eye. Okay, and we're starting to get somewhere with all of our disheveledness here. I don't want it to look too heavy like bruises. It is supposed to be makeup, so I'm trying to like leave a little bit of whimsy here, flow off of the areas I smudged and everything like that. I'm gonna grab a little bit of these reds. Runny makeup and all. Right now, it's looking like the opposite of what I wanted. It's looking like I got beat up. Oh, that's what I get. Messing around with all those ghosts in Luigi's mansion. Beat you up. I came into the thrift store I work at, and I've never actually played the original Luigi's Mansion, or any of them for that matter, so I got it, and it's actually pretty fun. I enjoy it. Rub that out a little bit there. There we go. All right. I think I want just a little bit of darker red on top here. So that way when it all blurs and blends with the smudges, you'll get that little bit of red color up in there too. I'm like oddly picky about things. I want it to look a very specific way. Not that it's like perfect, it just has to be that way that it is in my head. I think I'm gonna do my highlighter before I start doing all the wet stuff. That sounded really gross. I think we're gonna use shade Blue Blood from the MakeupaMurder If Looks Could Kill palette. And I'm just gonna do a little. Alright, sorry about that. Little Bertram here ran out of battery, so we had to swap them out really fast. So I'm not entirely sure where my mic cut out. So I was doing my highlight and trying to make it look like I've been smearing it a little bit. That way you can tell I've been rubbing my eyes. And just throwing it a little bit all over my face here, blending it in with the mess. It's supposed to be a hot mess. You know, make yourself feel better for whatever happened on this Valentine's Day shoot that I'm about to make look like an argument or something happened. And I did a little bit of the murderies. There we go. Oh, you can't even see that. I went to do the highlight on my nose and it was just like, gray finger. All right. We've gotten our highlight on. Now we're going to go and let me clear my little area here. We're going to take our Anastasia Beverly Hills and I'm going to like kind of fudge around, just make like little ticks and rub with my finger, and then I'll go back in and make the semblance of a wing that used to be there. Oh. Well, we'll leave it. I want it to come just a little bit up there. There we go. And as someone who has done a ton of crying with makeup on, as I am such a big baby, it's a little bit easier than I'd like to admit. It's all coming back to me now. That day I saw a cute cat video and I bawled, oh! There we go. See, I kind of did like a little wing and then rubbed most of it off there. Push that guy out and do it again. Yeah. And do the same thing. I really love doing looks like these because it's kind of like playing the whole time. It's like, so what? I got a little line here. We'll just rub that guy out, let him set or something, you know, like this guy. Like, oh no. It's not a big deal. I'm supposed to look that way. And it's just fun. It like gives me more time to play instead of being like, okay, this has to be this way. It has to be perfect. It has to look like poop. Not actual poop. I found it. We're going to try, well, I found one of them. We're going to try this Milk Makeup Rise Mascara. I only ever tried their Hydro Grip Primer before, and it was pretty okay. Oh, excuse me. I got it in the little thing, and I got like maybe 2-3 uses out of it, so I was like, I didn't have enough to form a super good or bad opinion on it. We'll just get a little coating on there. Just coat the entire thing so when I go in and start smudging around, I'm going to do the bottom. Take the little bristles here and there we go. I was going to say, I'm sorry, I was going to say, I'm sorry, I casually just exit the screen as I do my makeup. By the time I'm done, you won't even be able to see me. I apologize. I don't know why I do it. I even moved the thing closer so I wouldn't have to. My mirror is right here and I'm still just like, they can see. It's fine. They'll be fine. This stuff does not smear like I would like it to, so I think I'm going to take a little bit of my black Briar lipstick here and just kind of, there we go. Yeah. Now we're starting to get it. Get that like clumpy look on our eyelashes. Oh, I hate when that happens though. When it starts to turn into like little balls of mascara and then it just falls in your eye. Oh, I hate getting stuff in my eye. It is the worst. All right, so what I've done here is I've taken one of my old eyeliner tubes here and mixed some of it up with a little bit of water here. And then I'm hoping, oh, I need a little bit more on there if I want it to do the thingy. Yeah. I want it to look wet like it is actually running eyeliner or mascara. I'm trying to bead up enough of it so it'll run down my face here a little bit. Let me grab a different type of applicator here. There we go. That gets a little bit more water in it. Go down my face here. Will you? Oopsies. Almost dropped the big one there. Ah, no, I actually got it in my eye. Shoot. This is what I wanted. Not really. I didn't want it in my eye. Oh. You get to watch me struggle in real time here. We suffer together. I'm just trying to give it somewhere else to go and it won't. It just like travel down my face. Why? There it goes. I needed more water. Let it just travel its way slowly down. Don't touch it, you'll mess up your makeup. I crack myself up sometimes. That's looking a lot better. It's giving it that there was something there, but it's been smudged out. Look. Do some up there that way. Yeah, we'll put some all around here. Great. Leave it to me to damage myself. Nobody can beat me up but me. Alright, and we'll try and put this one to come from the middle of our eye now. Let it go, dripping down your dang face. I don't know. I've never seen the movie. I'm doing my best here. Everything I know from that movie is from Kingdom Hearts. Was it in there? Yeah, I think it was in the third one. Third one was the worst game out of them all. Don't you dare defend it. It was the worst. I waited 13 years for that game, and they wrapped everything up in such a way that was like, oh wow, you've been playing this game for years. What if we wrapped it all up in like 10 minutes? Yay. No, not yay. Not yay. Do maybe one more little one over here, because I like how kind of this one is a little bit darker, and that one is super light. Like, it's not really, I've already had one come down or something like that. I'll try and do just another little one on this side. And it's so watered down that I actually... There we go. You can see it on there too. It's watered down enough that I can play around with the smudging and everything. And now if my nose runs, it'll just be part of it. You won't even be able to tell. Oh, wow. Like, tucked those tears right in there. I need you to go just a little bit more there, buddy. Please? Please do the thing. I actually feel like I look like Alice Cooper right now. Not a bad gig. He's a little old, though, so that's not doing me any favors. Alright. And this guy seems to have stopped halfway down my face as well. Please continue, sir. I just want you to go past my lips there. There we go. See if I can't get one of them to go the whole way down me neck. That would be cool. Look at it go! Speed racer. There it goes. All the way down. And I think I just want one more coming off of this side over here. All right. I've gotten my thingies cleaned off now, and we're going to go in and start doing our lips. I'm going to go in and line them properly first, then do a little smudging, get the lipstick on, do a little bit more smudging, and we'll see where we end up with that. Whew, there's a little stray hair floating around. He's trying to get in my eye. I know he is. We're going to take our Sephora waterproof liner here. And it doesn't really matter where you line them. You're going to end up smudging them and moving them around anyway. So I'm just going to go right over top of my lip line. Bring it in just a little bit. Up. And sometimes I'll even make like almost a square shape as I can kind of even it out as I pull up. There we go. And now I'm going to do a little bit this way and a little bit this way. Kind of want it to go down. I have this thing where I don't want it to look too similar, like, oh, one going this way, one going this way. I kind of want it to look like, oh, you're just rubbing your face, like not even thinking about it. So I'm trying to put thought into it, to not put too much thought into it. Okay, and then we've got the same thing we used for the little bit of red up there. We're going to use our nose Furatoo. We're going to... And this lipstick is really red, so I don't want to leave too harsh of a smudge because I think it will offset the rest of the look that I've got going on. I think what I'm trying to say is that I don't want it to pull away from the look as a whole and them to just be like, ah, there's bright lipstick there. That's where my eyes should look. I want it to all kind of come together. And so I might even take some of this and re-smudge a little bit back up in there so you get that red all over my face. If my madness happens to make sense, that's what I mean. I'm gonna smudge around the edges here. Just a little bit there. I actually look like, if you're old enough to know this, an Atreyu album. Not my favorite though. That one was always Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses. Gonna just go over it in just some areas. I don't want all of it. Cover up. There we go. I feel like I'm missing something. I know that I'm going to do the fake sweat here in a little bit, and I know that I'm going to put my lashes on, but I feel like it's missing something, and I just don't know what. Give me a moment to ponder. All right, I was pondering, and I can't honestly think of anything that I would add or any ideas that might help elevate it. So I'm going to go ahead and just put on my lashes, and maybe when I'm getting dressed and setting up the scene, I'll kind of think of anything. And if I have stuff to add, I'll just come back on and do it real fast. I've just got my cheap little lashes here. I'm not even going to like set them all the way. I'm going to kind of like offset them a little bit. We've been crying. We're disheveled. No longer a shovel, whatever that means. I don't know. Words are weird. You see English languages. I think most languages are weird, though. Beep, 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 beep. Give them a little squish. Dry. I don't know why I do both hands. I'm flying away. As it starts to clear, you can go ahead, and we're going to kind of do the top down, and we're going to bring the back end of the lashes up. I don't know if you can tell, they're definitely not on 100% the way they should be. And this is either going to work out beautifully for the shoot, or I'm going to get denied, and they're going to be like, girl, you suck. So we're going to take a gamble here. And this thing not being on properly is just going to irritate me. Oh, I probably should have waited, but that's okay. Okay. And you see him? Kind of makes my eye look like, eh. Take the other one. Same thing. This one is always shorter than the other one because this eye has like a little bit of a hood. And anytime I put the lash too far in, it's just like poking me in the nose. Either it's an eye problem or a nose problem. I don't like it. Shaken Bertram syndrome. Waiting. I like it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let this sit, dry, go back in with my mascara, kind of fluff them out together. I'm going to get dressed and everything, and then we'll come back and make the fake sweat. That way I'm not like all wet and sticky trying to put clothes on and mess with my hair. It will just be a bigger disaster than I'm prepared to deal with today. So I will be right back here in a moment and we'll show you the look and we'll make some sweat together, as gross as that sounds. This is pretty much the final look here. I've gotten my little hair clip in, some Cass Collective jewelry. I love this pearl set. It's one of my favorites. I've got on my I Killed My Husband giant fluffy robe. Perfect for the scene, if I do say so myself. I've gotten some Killstar little lingerie top on and Victoria's Secret undies and fishnets, and I'm sure you can see behind me. I've gotten a little scene set up back there. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to redo my room up here is there's not a whole lot of places out here in North Dakota, well, at least near me, that I can go and like set up my creepy little scenes and stuff like that and take pictures. So if I have photographers or if I want to do anything, I can just do it in here or downstairs or somewhere, and I've already got all my stuff. So it just makes it like way easier. So the last thing we're going to do here is I've been trying to mix the right consistency, and I hope that this is finally right. So it is one part vegetable glycerin and 2 parts water, and it's supposed to make fake sweat. So we'll see how it works and if it stays all wet on my face. And I'm gonna put a little bit in my hair here and make it look all like my face is just I've been having a day. I also have some put in a little spray bottle as well, so I can Windex my face here in a bit. And we'll see if it stays a little beaded and wet throughout our little journey here. I'm going to put some in my eyelashes too. A little bit up over here. You can see it at least. It seems to be working. Seems to be. We'll be hopeful if it lasts throughout the shoot here. Get one going down. Oh no. You can see I was worried that was gonna happen. Oh yeah, you see my eye. Why wouldn't it be in my eye? Everything goes in my eye. Oh, I should have been a little bit more careful with how much I was putting up there on me old hooded eye, but that's okay. It'll just add to the semblance of we're having a rough day. I look like a wet cat right now. On the forehead. We're sweaty. We've been throwing dudes around, making a mess behind us. I've got like little rose petals, hearts, and all kinds of chocolates all over the ground. I'm gonna make it look like I'm like smushing them and all kinds of stuff into the mirror. Hopefully they like it as much as I do. And like I said, I will leave a little link and stuff down there if I end up getting into the magazine. If I don't, at least I already look like I'm crying about it. So no love lost there. But subscribe if you want to see more looks like this one. Like, comment, do all the things. But the most important things, stay well, stay hydrated. Bye.